This is January the 30th, 2019. I'm sitting here, I'm Claude Harman Jr., and this is Gaines Harman, my brother, and we're interviewing and talking with Oscar McGhee. Also, my daughter Merriman Harman is here with us today. And we were going to start and kind of talk with Oscar about what he remembers about Odessadale community when he was coming up. And Oscar, if you will, state your full name.
My full name is Oscar McGhee.
Okay.
That's my full name, Oscar McGhee.
And you know, when and where were you born?
I was born in the Seay place.
Okay.
I was born at the Seay place.
And the Seay place is about 2 miles, well,
back,
about a mile straight
back.
north
of
where we're sitting here.
Seay place back. That's where the Seay place is. And it brought me from the Seay place. Well, let me go back and do I need to go through my daddy going on Seay place?
Yeah, tell us about that a little bit.
My daddy.
And who he worked for.
All right, my daddy went on Seay place. Now, my dad was born down here on Merriman Harman.
Right.
And McGhee, which is McGhee's brother, I think. Jimmy and McGhee wasn't brother. All right. Okay. Anyway, he was born down there, and then McGhee hired him to put him over the farm at the Seay place and moved Mama and him over in the big house back there at Seay place, and he looked after the peach orchard, and then he looked after the packing house. My daddy and Alan McGhee. But anyway, he ran the Seay place until, and I had 4 brothers born back there, and me and the 5th, so I have 5 of us born on the Seay place. And I was the younger one. I was about 2 years when he moved me out over off of the Seay place over to the front, you know. And then he hired Miss Howard, they hired Miss Odessadale to run it, and just put my dad. He knew more about the farm than the other. So he ran the farm. And the other men that worked under him. But my daddy was the head of the peach orchards and all of that. My daddy was. And so he worked the other men under there. And then now, it come down to my mother need to come to my mother's name and my dad's name.
Yeah.
Or do I need to go through?
Yeah, just go tell
all right. Now, my mother's name was Alan McGhee, that's my dad.
Okay.
Then, and my mother, which was Daisy McGhee. Okay. And they were born. Now, as I said a while ago to make a statement, my dad was born down there with Jimmy. And my mother born right out here, about a half a mile right out back of me out here, where we sitting now. About half a mile like that. And she was a Palm. My daddy was a McGhee. Okay. And they got married. And they were put back there, as I was saying, at the Seay place. And they stayed there until Miss Howard and then put Miss Odessadale over the packing house and the Seay place, the peach orchard.
Now while you're talking about your daddy and your mama, go ahead and go back and talk about your grandfather and tell him where he came from and where your grandmother came from a little bit. Well,
my grandfather, he was slave, great-granddaddy now.
Your great-granddaddy?
Now, my original granddaddy, my daddy's daddy,
yeah.
He was born on on my Charlie place.
And he was Aaron.
Yeah, that's Aaron McGhee.
Okay, but your great-grandfather was a slave.
Yeah, that's a slave.
All right,
brought down where the airport at, going to Warm Springs.
Okay. Right.
And them people was a McGhee, and they gave him a name McGhee.
Okay.
And that's where all us come in with the McGhee.
Okay.
That's how I come there. And that my great granddaddy, then he had 2 children.
Okay.
which is my granddaddy
Right.
and my granddaddy's sister and Molly.
Okay.
And they come off of the down at the airport, come up on the Harman plane.
Okay.
And the sister come to McGhee
Okay.
and Stovall down here in Room, I would say, we call it the Iron Bridge.
Right.
It was a house down there below the Iron Bridge. And she moved in there, and old man Bud Dixon married her.
Okay.
And then my daddy, my granddaddy married grandmama, which is my grandma Nan.
Okay.
And then my daddy, that's what my dad and them children born, Allen and all them born in. But he had 3 sets of children.
Now this is
My grandfather
Right.
had 3 sets of children.
Right.
By 3 different ladies, you know, 3 sets of children.
This is
And
where Mike came from, isn't it?
and then the last set, which was my daddy.
Right.
But now my daddy had that's when he went to the Seay place then. That's when he went to Miss Harvard, and he stayed there. And till the peach orchard went out, then they went to plant oats and wheat.
Okay.
And he stayed there after they left the oats and wheat. He wanted to go on the farm, which he come to the thrashers then, the thrashers up there. And he moved all us to Odessadale then. That was the edge of Odessa up there, but we moved us downtown. We moved us over there. And moved to Odessa. And so this is where we started at. Now he started out with a farm, so now he'd had 3 children who went to field at that time. When it started off, I wasn't old enough. So he just went on and put me in school. School out there, right over there. You know where, y'all know where it is. It's still there.
Where the church is.
Yeah, the school is there. So I went to school, I went to school 6 years there.
Okay.
Then my dad had taken me out, after I done got a little older, my dad had taken me out and put me on the farm too.
Was that a good day for you, Oscar?
Yeah.
I thought, you told me it was.
Yeah, and I never forget when they put me on the farm, he had to sort of plow handle off at the bottom, let them down real low. Cause see, I was coming up and got 13, and I let me run Miller, didn't let me do nothing else, just run Miller. That's all I could do, just run Miller. And so the other boy had holes and they chopped and all of that and put on soda, fertilizer and all stuff like that, sew it by hand. And so then after that, with me, Miss Spryler come up and wanted to borrow me from my dad in the morning and the evening to help milk cows at the milk dairy. And that's why I got away from the farm just a little bit. But when we get through washing up at the milk dairy, I go back to the farm.
Okay.
And work till 2 o'clock that evening and then go back to the milk dairy.
How'd you get down there?
Walk.
You walked. Okay.
Walk.
So about a 2-mile walk.
Well, 2-mile walk.
Yeah,
And the 4th day every morning I had to leave home at 2 o'clock to get down there at 3 o'clock and start milking the cows.
3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. And so, now that's how I got started, my start. My daddy, he farmed on and on and on. And
How big was that farm he was farming?
it was a large, it was a 3-horse. We call them 3-horse farm.
Okay.
So now
How
that's
many
3 mules, 3 mules.
3 million. How many acres? You got any idea how many acres was it when you call it? Did you tell me it was about 75 acres or so? Or you don't remember?
Yeah. Let's see. On the farm,
On the farm, your daddy was farming. Just how many acres was that?
I'm gonna say. Now you start up there at the corner up there, at the highway above me at the corner.
Right.
You work that side over where the fire station at,
Right.
all the way down yonder to the crossroad, and you work this side all the way down the crossroad. So I'm gonna say, I think we talking about something like 45 acres, 50 acres,
45. Okay.
45 to 50 acres.
About 50 acres.
So, but that was a 3 horse. That's what a 3 horse farm was called. About
Yeah.
45. Okay.
And so now we want to finish up this.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Now I go back to this young. I told you what my dad was born down there, Jimmy, and then my mama born out here. It didn't have a name out here, just right out here, but she was a palm.
Right.
And so then we go back and they want to know my memory in Odessa. So after I got old enough, I started walking to school.
Okay.
And I come down to Odessa here, down that road there, Odessa, and then go up all the way to the schoolhouse, and to the schoolhouse. And at that time, all the buildings were gone except 2, Miss Harvard and the post office.
Okay.
All the buildings were gone.
That's Elm Street.
That's Elm Street. And this was, you were born in 1930.
30.
Right? Okay, so we're talking about you were 5 years old when they moved you down here. So
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So by that time, when you came up in 35, all the stores were
Somewhere,
gone except the
get
2.
the right remember, somewhere like 35,
Yeah,
36.
right.
Because by being a little young fella,
trying to give it-
you don't think anybody tell you anything, you forget it.
Right.
And so,
So go ahead.
but
What
then
you
we
remember?
go to school. We went to school, as I said, right out there. Oh, I had to walk, walking. And
Tell us about the 2 stores that were down there. What, we want to talk about Odessadale now.
now,
You-
2 stores.
Yeah, what do you remember about all them?
Now, that's what we traded at Harvard.
Okay,
And the post office where the mail come in.
right.
But now we traded with Harvard at all time. And so my dad, he come up with a car after he got on the thrash farm. And I used to go down there with him, and he'd get a gallon of gas, old Marley, and 10 cents a gallon.
Okay.
Pay a dime and get a gallon of gas, 10 cents a gallon. Then it finally got to 15 cents a gallon, and that's how I ever known gas to get down here at the store down there. I ain't knowing no gas to get no high on that until Mr. Humphrey moved in there. Then gas went to 25 cents a gallon.
Don't doubt it.
But after that, then Mr. Humphrey, he moved up on the corner up at the store up here right up here, sitting up in the old building right up there, on the corner up here. He moved up there. But go back to him. Now, his granddad, Mr. Dan, he built a house. He was staying in the store, and he wanted to get out kind of on his own. He built a house in the tree, put a house up in the tree. I went up in it several times, about diamond like here, and that's about all it was. They cut all the limbs out, and Mr. Henry and them, they put that house up there for him. And he opened up a wood yard right behind the store. 5-wood yard, short wood. And he stayed in that business. Then he married Miss Elizabeth Greenville, his grandmother. He married her. And then they lived up in the tree.
She lived up in the tree with him?
Huh?
She lived up in the tree house?
She lived in the tree too.
Okay.
Him and her both. That's where they stayed. The wife and the husband lived up in the tree.
Right.
Up in the tree. And we were just still chilling.
How'd they get up? Was it just a ladder or a stair?
No, that step
Stair
go
steps,
up.
okay.
There'd be a step, go up there and come in the house. Yeah. But in one big old room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they didn't have what we call a microwave oven then.
Yeah.
Didn't have a microwave oven. He had a stove in there, a cook stove with 2 eyes on it. 2 eyes on it. Had an oven in it, but that's what he had, my dad had up there. And that's what then they had a table up there. But like I said, all in one room. And the bed was in the same room, all of it in the kitchen, and all of that. So they lived up there in that for time after time after time. Now, one of them children are born. I don't know which one. It looked like my dad had 2 boys, I believe.
At that time, that would have been Joe.
Joe Hutch.
Joe
All right,
Hutch.
had 2 boys. Anyway, one of them was born when he was up there.
Okay.
Then they come down out of that. My dad moved somewhere else. I just remember where he moved to, but anyway, then another, I maybe his dad, he was born then when he moved somewhere else. So, but the store still went on and went on, and my house stayed in the store too. And so this is where everybody traded at. You had 2 more stores on up above there, June Potted,
Oh,
Tom Hall.
yeah.
Yeah, them 2 more up there. And
Now that was up in Odessadale.
that's
not
on
down
up,
here.
that's on up there
Okay.
when they
All
brought
right.
me to town.
That's
That's up above us. I was in between the 2 stores where we were living.
Okay.
And so we went on up there. And then I went to school, as I say, out here.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I went to school out there. And a lot of time I had to go barefooted because we didn't have shoes. Them warm days, we go barefooted. And the good days, if it did get a little cool, Paul cut a car tire in 2. There wasn't no bigger than a motorcycle tire, back tire on a motorcycle. He cut them out in front, and then we put our foot in there. He'll run wire all the way up and wire in the heel back here, close it up back there.
That's your shoe. Huh?
And that's what we wore for shoes. Then they come in about Boy Scout, something about a Boy Scout. And my daddy went into LaGrange. I can't say I had done it, made $2.50 a week. That's just before he left them up there, $2.50 a week. But anyway, everything cheap then. He went in and bought us some Boy Scouts up in LaGrange on Bull Street.
Some shoes.
And Cap, I know the name of the store now, Cap, they're out of business now. But he bought us some shoes. Then we got a chance to get shoes then. And we thought we shown up in town then. We got them shoes and things. So then we went on, then we went on and went on. Then the man, he was farming for me pack thrash. He said, Alan, this grass is eating up this cotton. So I want you to take them boys out of school and try to get this, you can pull you out of school and wouldn't put you in jail about that. I think they'll get you now if you take children out of school. But anyway, I'm glad to get out of school, and I ought not to be in. I didn't get no education worth for nothing. And then went to field. We got out of the grade. We started getting the grade. And so we never did go back to school no more. And after my dad had got on up in 8, I think he was farming. After he got on up, I think he was 88 or 8 or 9. Don't hold me there, 88 or 89. And he paid. Then James started running the farm on to that year to carry it on out. My brother James, he carried the farm on out that year. And then they had to leave the farm then. And she moved up at Anna Harris's house. Anna Harris been where Robert Harris got a little house up there now. You know, it ain't far from the road up there. She moved up there and carried all the children up there with her. And then she married, anyway, she had 3 children, and that man had 3 children, just like Grandma, come up in the same thing. Grandma married, and then that man had 3 children, and she had 3 children. So my mama had 3 children, and the man married her had 3 children. And so they got in there, and they raised them children, but they done left the farm. So my brother James, he went over here to Mama, over that flower nursing yard over there. He went over there and worked at that, little young fella, and worked at that, the nursing yard. And so Then when nothing y'all went out being, that put him out, and he went on to Atlanta then. And so I never left Odessa. All of them left Odessa except me. Everybody, all my brothers, 10 of all my brothers left Odessa and went into Atlanta. Oscar, the only one, stayed in Odessa. And I ain't been in but 2 houses in Odessa. That's where I'm at now, and the one right up above that was on the farm. And that's where I've been all up until now. I'm down now. By the help of the Lord, I'm down now. And so, what we done, at the time, after I was helping the man at the milk dairy, they moved me to Greenville. The man at the milk dairy, they were partnership on some feed store down there in Greenville. Jordan Nelson and Mrs. Spradley.
Yep.
There were 2 partnerships in that. And they had to have a truck driver. So they moved me down there and hired some more boys and put them in the milk dairy.
Right.
And so
Probably
I worked at that feed store for years. And then your daddy come to me one day. He said,
Claude Sr., yeah.
yeah, he said, don't you think you can cut wood? I told him, no, I don't know nothing about it. He said, I'll get you some help. That's when I'm coming back on the Harman plate now. I come back. I was there, but I left the Harman plate and went, but I come back. So he went and bought me a truck, saw, axe, 2 axes and 1 saw, and put me on this plate, cutting wood anywhere I wanted to cut it on there.
Do you remember about what year this was?
But I couldn't cut nothing but dead trees now.
Dead trees.
It a lot of dead trees on plate. Now I cut dead trees for Mr. Claude Harman, which is your daddy. I cut dead trees, and then it went from that to the green tree. So they come out and started marking trees on their plate then. So I started cutting green trees then on the plate, and I stayed with the Harman. Well, in the old, I've been with the Harman about 70 years. Because when I was a little boy, I went there when I was real little.
Yeah.
Snaking log with a mule pulling the log. We walking behind them, going up on the dock. But anyway, that's what I'm saying, about 70 years. I've been with the Harman ever since then.
This would have been in the early 50s is when you were working with Mr. Cecil.
All right.
And I
Yeah.
remember you there and over at Mr.
Right.
Cecil's place.
Right,
And you
no,
went to
that's
work
right.
with Daddy later on in the 50s. Or
Yeah.
At that time frame, yeah.
And I lived in the little house on the corner down there, Grady. Mm-hmm. And then our party told me about the houses up here. They wanted $700 for it and pay $7 a month. $7 a month. So I went up there. It was just wasn't on the inside, built on the inside, not since I had it redone.
Right.
And so that's where I stay. And now, getting back to Odessa now, let me get to Odessa again. Only thing we could come to Odessa and get spinning wheel.
Where'd you get that?
There was you get 2 for a penny. Spinning wheel. About that big around. It's sweet. 2 for a penny. Well, we'll go to the Madalena Farm and get up eggs in the afternoon. And she'll give us a penny getting up the eggs. We over there about an hour, all in the house getting eggs. She had a lot of chicken. And give us a penny. And we go down and get a spinning wheel with it.
That's like a piece of candy, right, Oscar, on a stick or
No, it
something?
was a cracker.
Oh, it was a cracker. Okay.
Yeah, it was a cracker.
Like a cookie.
Which store would you go and get this?
Huh?
Which store did you go to?
My house, that's the only one that had that. Now, my Tone didn't have a spinning wheel.
Okay.
My June didn't have a spinning wheel. My Howard had a spinning wheel.
Yeah.
And that's where we come to it, down in my house. But now, make a long story short, Whaley, you know him, Whaley trapped the buzzard. And Whaley got him.
It's Waverly Hall.
Waverly Hall brought him around Jack and Whaley. and brought him down to Miss Howard. Told Miss Howard he wanted to let him have a turkey. Miss Howard went for that, have a turkey. And he just take him out there and put him in that cook right there. So Whaley goes out and hides the cook and push him on under there, let the cook back down. So Miss Howard kept him 2-3 weeks, wanted to get him tamed. And so Miss Howard goes out after the 3 weeks up and told Miss Bet that was the cook. So I'm going to turn that turkey out and let him walk around some out here. And your great granddaddy, that's what I'm talking about now. And so they go out and house the cook up. And the turkey the butter walked on out. He stood around, looked all around, and he just took off. Just jumped up in the air and went on. Miss Howard looked at him and said, "Yon, he go. It's my turkey gone." And he never come back. He said he'll come back this evening, but he never would come back. And I won't forget that. I want to make mention of that now. He bought a butter for a turkey. And Whaley the one sold it to him.
And Whaley was supposed to be the one that didn't have so much up here, but he sure knew how to do that, didn't he?
Yeah, Whaley.
We always
that.
call Whaley.
Who was Waverly Hall? I don't remember.
He used to walk around the road all the time.
Oh,
Whaley?
Yeah, the little,
What's his kin to Tom Hall?
Huh?
I don't know. Was your kin to Tom Hall's what Gaines said?
I remember Tom.
Whaley.
Waverly.
Whaley was Jackson.
Oh.
He
Waverly
wasn't.
Jackson, not Waverly Hall.
He wasn't a Hall. He was
I'm sorry,
Jackson.
I got
Yeah. Rand Jackson was his father. That's his father, Rand Jackson.
I'm sorry, I said Waverly Hall.
Yeah.
Waverly
All right.
Jackson.
And
And he will rock around, a little short fella.
Yeah.
Looked like Charlie Chaplin.
All right.
Walking
I
around.
do
So-
remember him.
Yeah,
I do remember
he
him.
didn't talk much, you know.
that's one of the funniest things happened in Odessadale down there. He done that. Yeah, that's the funniest thing happened down there. And but now what we lived at, the porch about 5 foot from the road. And Mom didn't allow us to go out in the road, look down the road, look up the road. We couldn't do that. We had to just stay in the yard all the time. And so that's where we stayed till we growed up. And then I got on up and put a grown. And after my dad had passed, I went on to the milk day for good then.
Just go back to, is there anything else in Odessadale you remember? Now, what I've heard you say is, if you look at where the Glanton House now is, on the end of the road, Glanton Allen House and Bowell House, you came back, there was a post office was still there when you were coming up, and then Mr. Howard's store that's the only thing that was on Elm Street when you were coming up, right?
That's the one thing with that. The big house got tore down between Miss Vowell and the post office.
There was a house there?
Yeah, that well up there now. Got a tear across pipe up about this high.
Who lived there?
Who lived there?
Lived there?
At the time, I don't know exact.
Okay.
No.
It's probably on that. That's fine. Yeah. After leaving right across in front of me, Ludi, that was my Dan. That was Hilton. Right.
I don't know who paid tax on it, but
They
that
do.
was here.
They still do.
It's around the corner around there. Around the corner. That was my Dan on that corner, right in front of Mr. Upper Church. That house ain't down there.
Right.
Okay,
Right
that
in front
makes
of
sense.
that.
That's why I'm telling you, that's why that property y'all paying taxes on is. And it's behind the old Upchurch house.
There in the front, on
Pushes
the
around the curve.
it got a rock
back
wall.
up, that back way.
You can tell when you get to Upper Church, a rock wall in the front on the bank there.
Yeah. I'm thinking that's because when I sold it, we sold that piece to James up there,
Right.
that comes
Yeah.
down behind that.
Yeah.
They asked me about that, and I was thinking that's when they brought it up, and that's why I thought it was back in the back there.
Yeah, tell me about you were talking about your grandfather, that you do remember him.
Yeah. I want to tell you about my granddad. He lived on your granddaddy's property
Right.
down there. But he lived way in the back. I passed on Sam house in the back on the hill back there.
Where Jeff was was
Yeah.
going back there.
And he farming back there, one whole farm.
Right.
And he wouldn't help Grandma with Jeff now. When they might get a bale of cotton, a couple of bales of cotton, that's about all they did, a bale and a hay in them rocks back there.
Yeah.
Again, but when he get the money for the seed and half of the cotton, my Charlie get half of it. He get half of that. He didn't want to give Grandma nothing for to help her with the children.
Right.
And then your granddad told him, said, Aaron, said, you're going to have to help Nan with them children. And he said, yeah. Then he got to studying over it there. He said, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave her and the children over here, and I'm going to move way around. I'm over there, going by myself. To keep from helping her with the children, he moved. So she took Jeff and them and tried to run the farm on over there.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. And he come on up there, I guess that's where we got all that stuff from him. Now, most of us live by ourselves. Most of us. Yeah, I got a bunch of brothers that's by themselves.
Yeah. But now, where did he move to?
Right there at the corner, right at the corner, that corner of that fence there.
Yeah.
Charlotte.
Charlotte's house.
You know where Miss Charlotte lives.
Charlotte's house.
All right, he ran straight across the road in front of that. That's where he died at, in that house right there.
Did he stay up there? And she had to do the farming down
And
there?
she went on with Jeff and them and Dave, and then Uncle Snudd and them. She went on with them three boys and run the farm on that hill back there.
Did they make it okay, or?
They done it. She was doing all right until the killing come in there.
What's that?
When the killing come in there, my uncle, my dad's brother, he killed her husband, Uncle George.
You got to you got to make the connect on this because there's two sets of families we're talking about. Oscar's grandmother Nan remarried after his grandfather left.
Yeah, after Grandpa left her.
And brought in three girls.
Yeah,
And then
Grandma had three boys.
grandma.
When
And
the
one of the other children, you go ahead and tell about burying them. That's the killing he's talking about.
Yeah, let's talk about that, guy. Yeah, go ahead.
Then
Jeff was
the man she married was Uncle George Teague.
Okay.
This is Nan.
And Grandma and him, after they run that farm that year, they went to Miss Charlotte, and Miss Charlotte bought them a Model A, and Jeff was the driver. So they wanted to go to the store, old McHale's store in Stoball. So they go to the store, but when they come back, my Uncle Anson and Corrine were fighting.
Now, Corrine was
Corrine.
Corrine.
Yeah, that's Uncle George. That was Uncle George Teague.
Dog.
See,
Gotcha.
I told you about.
George Teague.
She had Grandma had three boys,
Yeah.
and he brought in three girls.
So he was fighting with.
So Uncle Anson married one of them girls,
Okay.
and that put him out. And he went to Stoball and started staying with McHale.
Right.
And so they were fighting when they come to stow down. So Grandma said, Jeff, stop the car. And Uncle George said, stop it. And she said, you can give him time to stop. He jumped out the back seat, had photo. He jumped out the back seat and run up there and started hollering at my uncle. Anson. And they had a knife there, a butcher knife, hog knife, what to kill a hog with. And he hitting at her with it. And Uncle George run between them. And Uncle Anson hit him, come down on him. And that knife went in him. Then Jeff jumped out and goes up, but he had them fell on the ground. And killed Uncle George right there. Then Corrine, she quit Uncle Anson. And when she quit Uncle Anson, she went on to Atlanta. And that left him. And then the killing because Grandma had to cut the farm out, come out more there, and went to Stoball and McHale, Stowball had a house, and he put grandma in that over there, in the house over there in Stowball. And then, after she went to Atlanta, my uncle, he met Aunt Martha, and him and her married. And they lived together till he paid, then she finally paid out of that. And so that broke up the part there. But now, here what make it kind of, about that killing me. McHale and my Charlie, your granddaddy, the courthouse is up in Odessadale, courthouse right up yonder. So the way they done then, they go up there and try them themselves, and then put them in field, put them back. Well, you ain't go no chain gang. So they brought him up there and tried against him. Then McHale took on against him. Charlie didn't take him. McHale took on against him, carried him back, and put him on the farm. And he stayed on the farm till he paid. He run it for him. He was the head man and stole all that farm over there. And so now back then they said, now I got a lot of this from my Ralph Hay. My Ralph Hay. He was an older fella, real old, and he told me a lot. Back then, they something go wrong over Saturday night, something like that, a man, right. They bring no dozen try him up there. And my Charlie, and McHale, and one or two more of the Harman, they took them up there. Now they go up there and borrow, they had a courthouse upstairs where the bank, and my JP and them lived, but my JP and them had gone home over there.
Right.
And that I was open building them, they made a courthouse up there. And that's what they done. So and went on, McHale, Stowball, McHale, he come up with a man on his farm over there, killed a man. And now my Charlie took two. He took two of my uncles up here. My Charlie did. Uncle Lank and Uncle Anson.
Right.
They were tried right there. And McHale and Stowball, he had one. Coat, they called him Coat. They brought him over there and tried him, put him back on the farm, carried him back and put him on the farm. So these folks were on the farm back then, and well, my JP was there. He was a little deputy. And he waited till he get that little thing they had on the tally booth, they call it. Mm-hmm. It's on that picture. Mm-hmm. He'll wait till they get, there ain't on no picture, draw it out. Mm-hmm. It's on the picture.
Just don't draw it out.
My JP will wait till he get 4. Then he'll walk him to Greenville to the big court down there. Well, when he get to Greenville, he ain't got nobody. So all they do there, they step on the side and the bushes, they step right there, right. And he walk on by.
Let's tell Tim what JP couldn't see.
He couldn't see.
His eyes had gotten damaged, and he couldn't see. But he could see right. You could tell if you were real close to him, but he couldn't see anything.
And he couldn't tell who.
So by the time he got walked from Greenville,
Let me. This is Tim Harman speaking here. Let me get some clarification. So you said that some murders took place in Odessadale.
He said killings.
Killings, okay. And then they would take the guilty party to a courthouse that was in the upstairs of Mr. Howard's.
No.
In the bank.
Let me correct that, because I'm not the bank. The bank was not a 2-story. If you look at that picture, it was the Charles and Cal's merchandise store that was the 2-story.
Okay, so regardless of where it was, they would conduct a trial there, and so no other authorities besides those people were involved. And when they found them guilty, they would take them to work on a farm.
They put them to work then.
As their punishment. Mm-hmm. Okay, and what year was this?
What year? Do you
what
remember?
What
Well,
year did Bear
all this happened before my time.
Yeah, so this was in the 20s and teens.
Okay,
Now, let me say one thing I think might help with this too. These individuals he was talking about, the Harmons, Calvin, and Charles, were pretty much appointed justice of the peace. Okay, like Daddy was. Daddy was a justice of the peace of the area. So, is that about right? They had some credentials
Authority, yeah.
credentials of authority. They had, because of the distances and
You didn't have any
everything.
deputies and all
Right,
that.
you had justice of the peaces all over the county. And this is typical, because this also happened in Oglethorpe County where Donna's from, that you had an initial trial or hearing or whatever by the justice of the peace, and then they determined what was going to happen. Now, you said they turned them back. Was there any punishment other than just having them go back to the farm, but you said that when you had enough of them, they took them to Greenville, or supposed to.
Oh, that was the boy throw a rock, hit him in the head, and done little dirty stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Them wasn't killers, them wasn't murderers.
Okay.
Cause see, Charlie and McHale, that had that work going on, and that they like putting you in check, cause you stayed there till you died.
Right.
They put you to work till you died. You still can Greenville, put you on chain game. They take some then, and the jury, I don't know who the jury was then here, but I do know my JP was he was a little deputy, and then, but now you had about five. Ralph told me they got about 5 or 6 folks sat in the chair, and done this,
Yeah.
So it was a trial, it was just.
That's on them trial. They had them
trial. It
trial.
wasn't that arbitrary, but they did have people that did it,
But see,
yeah, the different judicial system than what we.
you got when they try you, you got to stay on that particular play they farm.
Right.
You got to stay on that farm till you pay.
Right.
And that's what's done. Now, Charlie, your granddad had 2 on this farm.
Right.
And McHale had 1. No, didn't you know McHale had 2?
He had Bear and
He had
Colt,
2.
too.
McHale had 2. Yeah, he sure did. He had 2. 2 mothers over there, and he kept them put on that farm till they paid.
Did that seem to work out okay, or what do you think?
Yeah, back then, I'm gonna tell you, the Chang'an was right up here by Melina Farm. And it worked out all right. It wasn't a mule wagon, wasn't no machinery.
Right.
And shovels,
Yep.
that's all it was done then. Work with shovels and things like that. Mule, stuff like that. But now, it seems to me it worked all right. After I grew up and looked into it, it worked all right, because my uncle, 2 uncles, 2 of my uncles murdered, 2 of them. And they stay on that farm. They don't leave that farm.
Did they get paid for working on that farm?
Huh?
Did they get paid? Did they get?
Now McHale and them they furnished the grocery. They furnished the overhaul.
But
Clothes.
they didn't get a salary or anything?
Then there wasn't no salary. They'll feed them. My Charlie same way. He'll feed them. Feed them, but now you don't go draw that salary. Go women $18 a week, but you don't draw that. They'll feed you and clothe you when you need it.
And give them a place to stay.
But you still got to be right there on that play.
Okay, so that was the punishment.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask, would the alternative have been, had they been sent to Greenville and tried there, in maybe more of an official capacity, maybe, would they have been hanged? Would that have been the alternative?
They would not have hung those people for those killings, would they?
Well, they'd have been
Was
tried
that home?
Huh? In Greenville.
in Greenville.
Well, and what I'm getting at
Uh-uh.
is,
Chang'an wasn't in Greenville.
Yeah. Let me get, because you told me a story. Okay. You knew a man who killed another man. He was arrested by Sheriff Collier and put in jail up there. You remember that story?
Yeah, I know that.
Tell that story. that this man killed another man and you knew him.
Well, I know the man done the killing.
Okay.
I never didn't know that fella they killed.
Okay, but what happened with
Turner,
that?
he was a Turner.
All right.
That Turner stole a car. And that my John now, my John the one
Oh,
done
you're
the
talking
killing.
about John Wallace. No, well, it may be. I'm talking about the one that Collier took and put in jail and put the other man that he killed in there with him.
Oh, Will Muller.
Okay, that's what I'm going to talk
Will
about.
Muller. Okay. Well, yeah. I like to forget that. Mr. What you call now?
Yeah.
I like to forget him because he like walking down one of these doors.
That's right. You're talking about John
He
Wallace.
talking about John Wallace.
None of us
I don't even
talk
want to
about
think about
He
him.
knows a lot about John Wallace and that
Yeah,
thing.
I don't wanna
If you
think
have a
about him.
murder case.
You go ahead about this one, Mr.
Now,
Muller. That's the one I want to hear about.
But Harry Hardy down in Durham.
Yeah.
I'm Claude might know if you didn't know. him.
Well, yeah.
But Harry Hardy, Will Muller worked on his farm. And when lunchtime come, they go home for dinner. When Will got home, Will Muller, when he got home, a fella beating his wife. And so Will got there, so Will come on in there. That fella went to the door and told him, don't you come in here. Will told me this now myself. I didn't get that from nobody else. He said, fella told him, don't come in here. He said, that fella got the dough bar, they had dough bars then across the door. He took the dough bar and he hit him in the top of the head by he being down low. You know, standing on the outside. And he said, he just pushed the fella out the way, went in to the bed, run in there and got a pistol and shot the man 3 times. Will told me. And Sheriff Carter and them come down there to get him and come in, and they got him. Got him and the dead man. And brought him to Greenville to the jailhouse. And in the cell, put the dead man in the cell with him. And he said he let him stay in that 3 weeks. It wouldn't tell you they couldn't stand it no longer. So they telling them about they need to get him out of there. So Sheriff Carter told him, you kill him, now you stay on with him another week. There was a man rotting in there. And so they got the man out of there. Will told me this, yeah. And then Will couldn't sleep at night no more. He said he couldn't sleep no more at night. And said he was in the jail and said a man one night after they got him out, said a man was laying over there by him. And he said he just went off again, told me he didn't kill him that time, but he killed him this time. And started beating on the bed over there. And so they sent him to Chang'an. Chang'an was in Greenville then. And he stayed in Chang'an, done his time. Then he got out. Then he moved off now and Harry Hardy, moved up here on the highway, up here in what they done total double wide trailer down. Jimmy Jr. used to live down there close.
All right, so Oscar, if you could tell us what is the most important thing in life. So just answer that however you want.
Well, now, the important thing in my life, not just everybody's life, because I've got different. Now, important thing is, they moved to church, Branch Evil. He was moved from Old Hills Road out here, the cemetery.
Off of Woodard Road.
Woodard Road. They took mules and wagon and moved. That's very important now. They took mules and wagon and carried the church over here where you see it, where it's set now, and put it back together and put it up. Well, the important thing about that church, I went up on that. And the wood just as solid, and them seals is under there is them seals is 8 by 8 under our church up there. But now, make a long story shorter, the bell diamond now, there's a bell on the McClaw, what they had at that day and time. This bell twice that big. I'd like for them to get a picture and see that there, but I don't know what we get up there now or not. The wood may not be solid up there on that bell, but anyway, the important thing about the bell, that bell rung every single Sunday that the Lord let come that morning, come in that day. That bell rung up there. That bell don't ring no more. They don't fool with it because they're scared of it. They're scared if you pull at it, it'll come all the way down through. And but now the important thing about the church up there, after they moved it over here, I didn't even know nothing about it because it moved before I was born. But after I got there, our church done had 9 pastors since that church been sitting where it's sitting. 9. And but the important thing about it, I went to church there when I was a boy, and I didn't thought I'd ever become a deacon of that church. And the fellow I called Mr. Ralph had the older man. And I was living on Miss Claude place, they daddy, down Fork Road. And he come to me and said, I was a young fella. He said, we want you to come up to church. I said, I'll come up there. I come on up there. What they want to do? They want to put me on trial, 18 years old. And what do you think, a fella 18 years old, you don't know nothing about no praying, nothing about no church singing and all that there. So when Mr. Ralph had done it, Mr. Ralph he was a strong man. He waited when I was sitting in the back. I didn't get no foot when I come in the front door. Dodger seats right there, right in it. Never went up front, never. On second Sunday, that church got full people. Up in the garret, full, down in the full, all the pews full. And Mr. Ralph had, now I call that the was a thing, but Mr. Ralph called it was a good thing about me in the church. Mr. Ralph said, prayer by Oscar McGhee, come on up here. And I had never prayed in my life. And I stood up there, and I'm going to tell you the truth. My legs were hitting together and all that there, and I didn't know nothing to say. In school, we always had Jesus wept in school. That was one of the things teachers always had us, Jesus wept. And I couldn't think of nothing but Jesus wept. And I said, Jesus wept. And I went walking on by my right, whoa, come here. He sat on that front seat with all them folks in there. He said, now you can do better than that out now. How am I do better than that and never prayed in the church? And he said, that's a good thing where he started me off to. And I said, what a bad thing he started me off to. So as you get back up there and you do better than that. Something come to me, and I said the Lord's Prayer, Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, let thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day, as we give our daily bread. I went from there on. Then I went sat down. And everybody looking at me when I took the seat back, that hurted me. Next week, my Ralph come to me and said, boy, that was a good thing. So that's the best thing I had in Branch Haven Church. But Ralph said it. I said it was a bad thing, but Ralph said it was the best thing. And I come on up there with it and been doing it ever since in that church. Now, that's the best thing about Branch Haven Baptist Church. Now, here's another good thing about it. There's 14 of us where they put it on the morning bank. And when August meeting, every night, morning bank. All 14 of us. So, Blue Hall, my Claude never knowing, Blue Hall thought we outdoors talking to Blue Hall, He said, you know what? Keep from going on that morning bench every morning, so why don't we just join the church Friday night and we won't never have to go to that morning bank no more. So the preacher got through preaching and had the bench, open doors of the church. All of them went up there and got in the chair on a seat. Some of us sat on the seat and some of us sat in the chair. And the preacher, he took it all in and wanted to know that we wanted. He said, brothers, talking to them older folks over there. He said, I know that we got 14 done come. He said, what shall I do? They had talking to them deacon over there. There's a brother moderator. I think you ought to hear from him. So the preacher, Reverend Walker, he said, stand up to the first one. And that was Hootie Tignum. Hootie stood up and said, you come join church? I did. He said, if the church was to accept you, will you be governing yourself by the rules and regulations of Branch Union Baptist Church? I will. He said, all right, tell us what you know about the Lord. He stood there and he stood there and he stood there. He didn't know nothing about God. Not nothing. So he said, hey, you want to be baptized? He said, yeah. Sit down. Then he got Moors, little Moor, we call him little Moor. I was the third. Ooh-wee. He said, you come join church? He said, I did. He said, you know anything about God? Yeah, I do. He said, you want to tell the congregation? He said, I know the Lord. And that's all he had said. You want to be baptized? I said, yeah. Sit down. And ring who the neck. I stood up. He said, he looked at my face and then looked down at my foot. And when they had me to pray back there, he remembered that. He said, you all know something about the Lord. Do you? I said, I do. I said, I know God woke me up this morning. He looked around all them digging up. That's right, that's right. Sit down. I was so glad of that I didn't know what to do. That was another one of the good things, you know. Then he went on down the line with them words. Half of them know something to say, and some of them didn't know. But anyway, after that, joined the church, and we thought we were through with the morning bank. They started on that morning bank right on. We had made us take a seat. Them ushers come there, put you on that seat. We'd be sitting all there over the church. Didn't say nothing, they put it on the seat. And I stayed on that seat so long, I thought that seat was mine. I was going to take it home. I thought, we ought to cut this seat up and carry it out of here. Now, so I stayed that way. So when I got older, my Ralph wanted me to be a deacon, which I didn't want to be. But I thank God that I'm ill what I is. I ain't top of the line now, but I'm ill. I thank God for me being where I am. I do. Yeah, being where I'm ill. Because I could have sat on back there with the other boys and not up there. But I enjoy being up there. So I'm in the deacon corner. When I go to church on Sunday, I'm right there in the deacon corner, right there. Yeah. So that's the thing about Branch Union I like about Branch Union. Is I was telling you now when I had 9 preachers. And I don't know what now. Had one preacher had to go get him out of jail every morning. Sunday morning when time for him to preach. Them old deacon, they had to go get him. Other boy, we didn't know what it mean. Then they go down to Seay car, tell let it happen till you get service, they'll bring him back. They did it. Now I didn't know about that, but Ralph told me this is what they do. Windbush, that is the preacher's name. Windbush. They go down there on mule wagon, get him Sunday morning, bring him back to Branch Hill, and after he preached, feed him, take him back down there. Down there. Now, there's a lot of things went on back in them days that you got so many ugly, mean things happen now. It wasn't going on then. And here folks said, what you think about the old days? I said, them were good days. They said, no, them ain't no good. Them wasn't no, I said, yeah, they is. Them were the best days in our life, and it was. Now, I'm going to tell you now, I'm 88 years old. If April, if I ain't today, I'm going to be April. 10th day of April. 88 years old. And I don't fight, and I don't get in no bad crowd, I don't hang around bad crowd. I ain't mourning nobody. But that's the way I'm here now. And I'm just that way now. Yes, sir, no, sir. You got two sitting right there, wouldn't it? Yes, sir, no, sir. Still got respect. And I'm aiming to keep it that way. Yes, sir.